There's a culinary school in Tucson that houses its own student-run restaurant, and today one of its chefs is here to help us prepare for Easter dinner.
Well, the school is part of the Art Institute of Tucson, and Stella Bernard is one of the chefs. She's helping us walk through with some wine education, Wine 101.
All right. Well, I brought some. Well, let's just start it. Cheers. Let's start off. Wine today is not what it was 20 years ago. When my parents were drinking wine, wine was expensive, it was hard to get, there were limited varieties. In the United States alone, we have 100,000 wines available, and the number's growing. So there is a flavor for every palate. So that's the first thing you need to understand about what we're going to be drinking here. And the other thing is, the wine that you like best is the wine that's best for you. So don't be forced into somebody else's palate. You might like this one, you might like another one that we're about to have. So in food pairing, let's talk about how you might, as you said, navigate the wine aisle. If you're having humble food, it's humble wine. So there is wine that goes with a cheeseburger. There's wine that goes al fresco. I was dying while you were doing this last segment. Here's the dish we had. And I'm going, oh my gosh, this German wine would go great with that because it's high in acid, it's light, it's not too sweet, and it would go really great with the balsamic vinegar and the fruit.
And that's a Riesling.
And that's a Riesling. 80% of Germany makes Riesling.
I like sweet wines.
So we're having a sweet wine right now because there's nothing wrong with having something light and cocktail to start with. We have a white Zin here, and it's absolutely acceptable to put a little bit of club soda and ice cube. We're in a hot climate. Let's enjoy it. Another one that comes with bubbles, this is Moscato, and this is from Italy. And you know it has bubbles because it says D'Asti. So it's going to have, it's sweet, it's bubbly. As you're preparing your wine, you're like, okay, let's have some, and then we'll go on. So if you want to finish that up, I want to pour you another one.
Already ahead of you, ladies.
Fantastic.
She told us at the beginning of the segment, she's like, drink them quickly.
Right.
So.
Drink them quickly. So the biggest food that we have for Easter is ham. So what we have here is a Beaujolais, and this is from France. And European wine grew up with food. So if it's from Europe, it's automatically designed to go with food. If it's from the New World, it's great cocktailing, but you can pair it with food too. So Beaujolais, it's going to be sweet and fruity when you match it with the smoky salt of the ham.
Okay.
So salt and acid go really well together. So when you have something like ham, you definitely want to go for something that has high acid. So this has acid, and without the ham right now, you're probably going, a little hard to find the berries. But with the ham, you're going.
But at the same time, I like that this is a lighter red.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not so heavy.
Yes.
It's not so heavy. And it matches actually with just about all three of our dishes we were talking about. As I was mentioning, we move into Riesling. Riesling's the most drinkable of all wines. It comes in dry, it comes in semi-dry, it comes in sweet, and it's lots of fun saying some of the words that go with it, you know. Ashle, Spatles.
That's very good.
Yes, and I can even say Birnhausenleser.
Isn't that impressive? Right there. Chef school.
So we have a light red, we have an acidy white, and then we're going into a California Pinot Noir, and this is going to be a little bit earthy. So this is actually going to go really well with your ham. And then if you are looking for not a sweet ham, but something that's a little bit more spicy, you can actually go into the Cab Savs. And all these wines that I'm showing here are all around $10.
That's
Great.
awesome.
And then when you move into one of my favorite dishes, lamb. Oh, I love lamb.
too.
And people are like, oh, I got to do this or that with it. Usually reds with lamb, but lamb is the most food-friendly of all the wines. So if you're doing a roast with rosemary, you definitely want to choose a Cabernet. Okay, so a Cabernet Sauvignon. And I have some here that are from California. One of the things I like to say, if you've invested in your food, invest in your wine.
Okay.
That's a good strategy because oftentimes you go to dinner and they spend all of this money on the food and then it's like $2 chuck. And you're like,
and what's going to happen is your whole meal experience is going to fall flat, and you actually may have a reverse experience of what you really wanted. So the Cabernet is going to go well with that, and I have a couple of different ones. This is a Napa Valley one, Clos de Bois, also from the North Coast. And then, just in case you wanted something a little bit different, this is an Aussie Shiraz, and this is really going to go go well because with spicy or grilled. Ooh. So if you want to do it up with, you know, some zip or some zap and then put it on the fire, go with a Shiraz. And then lastly, if you're doing a a poultry or a turkey, go with an unoaked Chardonnay if you're doing kind of a citrus fresh, and you can go with an oaked Chardonnay if you're looking for something that has a cream sauce. So go to the wine shop, be aggressive, say, I want to try something, this is what I like. And it doesn't have to be a wine, tell them the food you like. And the people that are at the wine store are just going to be so happy to help you. And they're going to be like, oh, I want to give you this, I want to give you this, have you tried this, blah, blah, blah. So really, I encourage people to get out, explore wine that's out there today. Don't be afraid. And if you're doing a large group, buy several wines. Buy some whites, buy some rosés, buy some reds, and then ask everybody, ooh, what went well with my food?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Because wine is supposed to be a learning experience. It's supposed to be fun, but it also can be intimidating.
Yes, it can. And I guess it doesn't hurt if you're a guest to ask the host, what are you serving? And then you have a guide to what to bring.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's, you know, and I always say, you know, there's a lot of great wines between $10 and $15. Bring one of those, bring one you like, and then say, oh, I was suggested this one, and then we'll try it together, and then you can, you know, do the vote if it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Well, I got to be honest, Sally, and I give you a double thumbs up.
Oh, thank you so
much. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was really fun.
Well, I got to have some more of this.
Cheers. And the Art Institute is located on Grant Road. To learn more, you can call 318-2700 or go online to artinstitutes.edu. And there was a lot of information in this segment, so remember that you can rewatch this segment on our website, TucsonMorningBlend.com, and just click on the Art Institute.
Well, coming up on the Morning Blend, in the midst of our Easter-themed show, we'll take a break to talk about Passover and a Freedom Seder with a very famous special guest.
Plus, we'll tell you how you can help this little girl live a healthy, productive, and independent life. That's right after the break.